Hello, Johnny Jenkins here from Peak Performance Fishing to help you cast a spinning reel and avoid those line twists. Now to start out, I actually started with a bait caster years ago before I even owned my own spinning reel and used it. And finesse fishing and worm fishing was not a strength for me. I like to fish topwater. But in those times where you have to have a spinning reel or you just prefer a spinning reel because it's less hassle to deal with a bait caster, you need to understand that you can get line twists with a spinning reel almost as bad as you can bait casters. The thing about spinning reels is that the line will twist, it'll tangle, especially if you've got new line or you've got lines that have a lot of memory and stuff like that. It'll coil on you, or if you feel the spool too much, it's just a disaster. It's absolutely terrible. And you know, the thing about it is with a bait caster, you can tune it, and with these bait casters nowadays, you can tune it so tight to where you're not going to get backlashes. You're just really not. The only way you can get a backlash is if you take a reel and you've got it tightened all the way down with the settings, with the centrifugal and magnetic brakes on the reel, and you literally go straight down and just swap it on the water like that and don't stop the spool. That's how you can get a bat, and you may not even get that bad of a one with that, with these the way they are just nowadays, and not even the really high-end reels. But when it comes to the spinning reels, you can't do that. You have to do it with the mechanics and how you cast it and how you retrieve it, and also some line maintenance type deals. It's not that complicated, trust me. In my spinning reels, I hardly ever get line twist, and a lot of it has to do with how I take the bail off and how I cast and stuff like that. That's the biggest deal. Now to go into it, what you want to do is when you cast out, you want to make your cast, and then you want to close the bail by hand. That's the most important thing. Don't engage it by twisting the reel handle like that. What you want to do is close it by hand, and then what I like to do is I like to gently raise the rod just a little bit. I'll gently raise it up, and what that does is it gets that little piece of line underneath the roller in the spinning reel, and that's going to really help with getting those tangles and knots. It's going to eliminate that for you. Another thing I do, especially if you're fishing with spinning equipment and you're fishing finesse baits, light line, you're fishing slow, you have enough time to make that cast, let the bait sink, and you can take care of it. So what I'll do is by hand, I will actually tighten the line by hand and pull the line up to the bailer and make sure that it's securely under it. That's the biggest one. If you can get down to do that, it's not that hard. It becomes a habit really quickly. I think I naturally just picked it up. I think I was watching somebody on TV do it, and I just was like, I'm going to do it that way. And I didn't even have to think about it. Just started doing it, and it was fine. I've never had a problem. I have my own line twist from time to time, but it's not that big a deal. That's the biggest thing. If you do that, that's going to make a big, big difference. Another thing you can do is to avoid line memory in the lines that you buy. You can take different products like KVD line and lure and different kind of spray magics and stuff like that you can find, and do some line maintenance. Spray that on there. It's gonna help. You're gonna be able to get longer casts. The line's gonna last longer. It's gonna have a UV protection on it, and it's gonna help with your backlashes on your bait casters, and it's gonna help with your line twist on your spinning reels. One of the last things you need to take care of when it comes to line maintenance is making sure that you don't have old line on there. If you have old line on there, it gets wrinkly, it gets in knots, and it's just a lot more susceptible to getting those line twists and backlashes with your bait casters and stuff with your spinning reels. So make sure you keep fairly fresh line on there. It's going to help you land more and bigger fish too, so try and make sure you have good and brand new line on there. And that's really about all you need to know as far as avoiding line twist on your spinning reels. Those tips right there, it's going to save you a lot of money in line. You're not going to waste near as much. You're going to catch more fish. You're not going to break as many fish off. You're not going to have near as many headaches out there. And I think we all want to enjoy more days of catching fish, less frustrations, and less just fishing. I know I do. This has been Johnny Jenkins for Peak Performance Fishing.